Welcome to TARTLEcast with your hosts Alexander McKegg and Jason Rigby, where humanity steps into the future and source data defines the path.
What's crack-a-lackin', everybody? Welcome back to TARTLEcast. You're here with Alexander. That's me, myself. And
Jason. Jason Rigby is in the house.
You're so cool. You're just so cool.
At 47.
Yeah. We just lost 20,000 users.
I know. Gone. We out. But no, we're going to talk about data science.
Yeah. We need this because we need to calm down after that last episode we had.
Yeah, don't listen to the end of the last one.
That was out of control.
Yeah, we get too hyped.
Way too hyped up.
Yeah, and then we start getting once you start getting me about solving the world's biggest problems,
and then you throw
climate
that on
control
me.
and the economies in third world countries and elevating humanity
and people thinking that the material thing they see on social media is what life's really like. You got me all amped up. I can't get into that.
No, we're not getting
all this online social dysmorphia,
and then how people have power with their data.
Oh my god.
And if they just sign up at tartle.co, we can create a movement. Young people that are out there, you create so much data. You have so much power. Then we can take that money and we give it and we help solve the world. And tartle.co becomes the largest data company. But we don't even care about that.
Is that what it is?
We'll give the shares. I mean, who cares?
If we're the smallest data company and we solve all the world's biggest problems together,
yes, exactly.
That's a win.
Yeah, it's not about the money, guys.
No. Gosh, you're calm. All right, so I'll take a second.
We still got that other.
I gotta shake. I gotta shake off.
It's the map. The map fucks us up.
When I look at that world map,
we have a huge map behind us. I think it's 8 feet. 84 inches.
That's not 8 feet.
Yeah.
But
we got to get a 96-inch map.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. Mm-hmm. It's just, when you look at it, it's like a constant reminder of what you need to continue to do.
I had a dream 2 nights ago. I was sharing a little bit of my dream, but so I walked in and this door went like Star Trek.
Like Star Trek?
Yeah.
Real quick?
Yeah, it went real quick. And I walked in and there was this monster theater screen of a world map and there was like things lighting up and I was looking at it and I was listening to people and it was where Tartle signers
sign-ups?
Where people were signing up, and it was like real time.
Oh, and you're like watching it like blink.
And it was and it was like, and then it was showing like the more users from those cities were bigger.
Oh, that's cool.
And smaller, like the red was like really bright and bigger, compared to smaller.
How do we get one of those?
I know we need some.
I guess we'd have to
Stark Enterprises.
Yeah, we need Stark Enterprises and a couple $1 billion. If anyone wants to hook us up with one of those maps,
interactive digital maps, we're in.
Yeah, that's cool.
What it takes to make the data science process work. And I want to talk about
what does it take?
Well, this is the thing that's interesting. We have a problem in the modern big data digital age.
There is a problem.
Because we have businesses that want to capitalize on this. And because they're recognizing data is the new gold. And we did an episode on that.
Yes.
And then the volume of data surging in.
Yes, surging.
Like a tsunami.
Massive exponential increases in this data.
And so how do we, with this voluminous amounts of data, identify patterns, exert meaningful information from it, and then also look at the perpetual crazy capitalistic model we have of exponential business growth every year?
Mm-hmm. We always think it's got to grow. What's the growth rate? 10x, 20x, 30x, right?
Yeah. How many users do we have?
5%. How many basis points did we get on
That's
this?
what Netflix gets judged on. It's so funny to me. It's not how much great content did we create.
Yeah.
It's how many new users do you have and what parts of the world are you infiltrating? And it's
this idea of like more.
Greed.
Yeah. Not bugs in my face.
Yeah, it's my plant. Sorry, guys.
You got to get some like.
I know. I need to. I heard some. I was reading an article and they said you take dish soap, apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
And you can put it in like a bowl or something like that because they just lay larvae inside the. But I got all these new
probably
new
laying
house
it
plants
in like my eye, like a sub-Saharan bug or something like that.
You'll be fine.
But I don't even remember what I was talking about. Do you remember there's a Winnebago guy online?
It's one gnat, dude, that's literally just hovering. There he is.
He knows because I eat vegetables only. He's like, he's the perfect one to lay my life.
See, that was Genghis Khan reincarnated, right? Yeah. He just did away with him. Next. Next life.
But
so let's demystify this.
It's the more.
Right.
It's that attitude of we need more rather than saying, what's quality? What is truth?
Right.
You know, the capitalistic model is like bringing us away from really looking at what true value is. And so as data science begins to evolve, it's not just training these specific people for business intelligence, but it's also saying, what's the best ethical approach for doing this or relaying this information?
But if you really look at this whole process, it boils down to one thing. What is the most insightful outcome we can get from this?
Yeah. How do we
distill truth?
That's right. So how do we take just these tons of deductive models and boil them down to say, oh, this is the truthful thing? The issue is they get all this data in, and because there's no direct conversation with the individual,
right?
There's so much guesswork you have to filter through. And it really does in our stochastic model, whatever it might be, Bayesian or not, is this the most probable truthful outcome? Well, we've done all the data science. We've manipulated all of our tables. This is probably what it is. And then they deliver that information over to the person that's managing the resources or making a business decision and says, do the right thing with it.
Creating lookalike audiences for social media. Marketing.
Putting this person into a specific funnel.
So, yes, exactly. I'll be having a meeting here soon on this. Companies must integrate predictive insights, forecasting, and optimization strategies into business and operational systems.
Yeah. So, so your business and operation, how many tools are you using to say we can plan better for the future?
Right.
That's all. That's all it's saying.
I mean, yeah, they're always trying to look at trends and stuff like that, but really it's about finding that truthful opportunity.
Yeah. How, instead of just saying, let's extrapolate this data and, oh, look at that financial model. This company's going to make a ton of money, when that's probably not going to happen.
But everybody is always looking for a competitive advantage. I remember the Wall Street book the guy wrote a while back, where they were burying fiber optic lines through mountains so they could get 1 millisecond quicker with having these, machine learning stock trades.
I spoke to these union electrician guys up in Boston. And they were laying huge fiber optic cable from Fidelity, Fidelity, and it was going right across the Atlantic, direct line over into Moscow. What does Fidelity need a fat fiber optic line going to Moscow for?
There's something going on.
It's all about speed, margins, and more.
Yes.
Why is it this world is so speed driven? Slow down, take the time to have, put more time into whatever it is to getting that truth.
Right.
And then you really don't have to do as much analysis on it, because it's so straightforward.
Well, see, that's where, and we talked about this in a previous episode, when you looked at companies that were being extremely creative, like whether it was Adobe, Apple, back in the day.
Yeah.
They were slowing down, and by slowing down and by being intentional in what they were doing, it created something, a new model. Something that was extremely disruptive, and that gives you the competitive advantage.
And that is its own competitive advantage. Not the competitive advantage is not who can get the best.
Because you don't have competition then.
Yeah, there's no competition when you have such deep creativity with such beautiful intent that's behind it.
Yeah, Malcolm Gladwell called it outliers.
Yeah, when you look at those outliers, that's what creates the difference. Are you going to be one of those outliers?
So this article from Analytics, I want to make sure I say this right, analyticsinsight.net. How the data science process works. Making the data science process work effectively requires some crucial steps. So I figured we could just kind of roll through these steps.
What is step numero uno?
Identifying business problems. Data scientists can look into businesses' every data process to identify problems and address them instantly. Okay. They need to formulate a hypothesis to understand the issues and convert data questions into something actionable.
So here's you have to come up with some sort of thesis, like hypothesis. They're trying to solve for an unknown. But what they don't know if that's the correct unknown to solve for. Why? Because they're not directly contacting, for the majority, the people that support that business or service. Flat out. If you knew what the problem was by going to the people that support who you are, you don't have a problem. You just have truthful information to act upon.
Yeah, it was so funny. You know, I'm single and I'm 47. And I was on YouTube the other day, and I had thought of you when
what were you watching?
No, I was on YouTube the other day, but I had to go to the kitchen and grab something. Mm-hmm. And in the background, I could hear, because you had mentioned this before, in the background, I heard a Pampers commercial. But the Pampers commercial was like 37 seconds. But I was pouring myself some oat milk in my cereal, my granola. Yeah. And so I let it go for 37 seconds because I'm not going to run into. Now, all of a sudden, I'm getting baby commercials. I'm 47, male, single. I have
watched the whole thing.
To get extremely personal, I have a vasectomy.
No, I know that.
So, there is no babies coming out of me anywhere.
No, and here's the interesting part, though. You know, vasectomy or not, the computer watched it. You didn't. You knew it was on, but you didn't care. You walked away from it.
Right. I was busy.
There's no real translation of information between your real life habits and what's digitally being recorded.
But why am I getting Baby RS commercials and everything else now?
Yeah,
that's wrong. Because I watched one.
Yeah. No. So it's incorrect. Now all these ad spend, this money's going to the wrong thing, and you're pushing a good or service to a person who truly doesn't need it.
Yes.
Why? Because that unknown that these people are trying to solve for in the first pillar of this,
right,
identifying business
analysis problems. Yes.
They've identified the problem incorrectly. They are not they're not solving the correct unknown.
Their hypothesis is all wrong.
Yeah, their hypothesis is completely wrong because they haven't connected with you truthfully
to
figure out what is the unknown we need to solve for.
Yeah, the vector is like so far, the angle. I mean, we started at a 30-degree angle and now we're at 47.
All the way over here. Like, we're doing the right thing. We solved this. Well, I'm glad you solved something that was totally unimportant and not beneficial to you.
Yeah, you could give me free Pampers. You could knock on my door. Give me a whole big thing of Pampers, and I was like, no, thank you. Give that to somebody that needs it.
Yeah.
That's how much I don't want them.
I know.
But now you're serving me with ads over and over and over.
And think about how much Pampers had to pay for those ads.
Yeah, because they made commercials.
Oh,
I mean,
my
a commercial
gosh. First,
could be...
get the team together to film the commercial, hire the actors, put the
script. $1 million or more.
Oh, my, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So this is
what's the second one then?
That can help design the right data science process workflow. So we need to understand that. In this identifying business problems, I know this is going to be a little bit longer, but I want people to understand this. To turn infrequent inputs into insightful outputs. And this is what the article says, and ask the questions to gain more understanding.
Okay.
Input to output, ask the question, gain more understanding.
Here's our
TARTLE.co.
Yeah, go to TARTLE.co, get all the right inputs, and stop asking the wrong questions, right? So if I get some random input, this is how this works. Okay, we're lacking data here. What can we take for inputs? Great, we have 30,000 data points. This has given us some answer, but it's opened up a new question. Let's re-ask the question. Oh, now we've tripled down it. Now we have 90,000 data points. Has this answered our question? No, it hasn't, but it's also created another one. Now we need 120,000 data points. Now we need 1 million data points. Now we have more questions because at the root of our entire business intelligence process as a data scientist, I did not just go directly to the thing and say, what needs to be solved first?
No, here's what
Why
happens.
do we need to solve it? Rather than say, let me collect inputs and just say, oh, there's a problem here.
Dude, this is so funny. So here's what happens. So the millions of dollars are spent. All these commercials are made. Everything's done. Pampers is...
You're still thinking about Pampers.
No. This is funny. So data scientists they have and all that, they're coming in and they're bringing these 1 million data points. And so they have this badass presentation.
Oh, yeah.
That they give the C-suite.
Love it.
Right? Yeah. So they're sitting up there. They're not going to make a decision on anything. They're just going to present the data. Mm-hmm. Now, you know what we're going to get? A collective hunch.
Yeah. It wasn't just one dude making a hunch.
I saw the data and
we got all of C-suite in their suits. They're like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I know.
How do you know that's legit?
They just made a hunch. You just made a hunch. Even though you had all the data, you may make a kind of smart hunch, but you're still making a guess.
I got 300,000 Jasons and we're making a guess on them.
Yes.
But the data scientist is like, we got inputs, and then it came to a question, and then we got more inputs, and then it came to another 2 questions. Why didn't you just ask the person why straight out of the gate and say, why? First of all, why am I looking to get my question later? Why wouldn't I get the question first and then solve that unknown rather than take random stuff and give me some unknown that I don't even need to be solving for in the first place?
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to explain how TARTLE can help with identifying business problems. Number 2, gleaning and integrating raw data. Collect raw data. Interpreting them and verifying data quality is an obvious framework and define the steps into a data science project.
Yeah, so I get all this raw information that's coming in. how do I put this in some sort of visual format or whatever it might be to come to some sort of understanding from it? How did was this the right visual? Is this how it should be delivered? Is this how I want to represent this? Is this really the right sort of analysis? And so for a data scientist, they need to be trained on, okay, what's the appropriate machine learning algorithm that should be used on this type of data?
Yeah, and I love this word that they use, and I've heard this many times before. Data comes in different forms and in different systems. So data wrangling and data prepping techniques are crucial and used to translate the raw data into a usable format.
Yeah,
data wrangling.
Wrangling.
It's like herding cats.
Yeah. Let me go get all these things together. Now that I have them, I got to put the ducks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Maybe I should have put duck number 7 in front of duck number 1. Why not just ask people what sequence it should be in? Because they're the one that gave you the data in the first place.
Yes. See,
I'm so sick and tired of all the guessing.
It's
unless it's a truly complicated data set like astronomy, can we stop with all the guessing? If humans are the thing that support your system, if you deductively look at your business, whatever it might be, okay, or your government or your research center, if you really look at it and say, okay, what is the driver here? If it's a human being, go contact that human being and get their data directly.
Solve it. Solve the problem.
Solve the damn thing.
I mentioned it before. It's like a passive-aggressive relationship. No one wants to communicate.
Yeah, no one wants to communicate. And it's all beating around the bush. And it's like, how do I look at the bush rather than go in there and hedge it? You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. It's that simple.
Oh, God, it's ridiculous. What a waste of time, resources, everything.
Just to be passive-aggressive to try to get an answer. When you can just go directly to the people.
Everyone here, I have my finger and I'm drawing on the wall. What's the shortest distance between 2 points?
Straight
line.
Yes.
Yeah. I drew it on this diagram over here the other day, right? Just a straight line. What is so hard about the straight line? Why do we stray away? Why am I hanging 45 degrees out here looking at the straight line and being like, I wonder how we get there? Or how do I talk to this person on the other end of my ray here to figure out, or my segment, because it's got 2 ends. How do I look at that? And how do I understand them without actually just going directly to them?
Yeah, you want your click-through rate to be 3, 5, 6%. How about it be 100%?
Why not be 100%? Because you know exactly how to speak to that person.
Yes, exactly. Number 3, exploring and preparing the data.
Exploring and preparing. Okay, I've gotten out my deep sea sub. I'm diving into these huge data tables. I'm doing my JSON queries. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
I've got graphs and visualizations.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's coral down here. Or, look at this deep sea fish. We've never seen this before. Wait a minute, there's an anomaly in the data set. We need to change our visuals, right? All this stuff is going on. Well, why is the anomaly there? I don't know, but maybe we can figure it out. Well, how are you going to figure it out? Well, we got to do more testing and more models. Why don't you just go ask the anomaly?
Yes.
Lucky for you, you're not studying fish. You're studying human beings.
Yeah, anytime you see a correlation, let's say you see a correlation in your data, then it's like, this looks to be truth. So let me go ask that subgroup of people and make sure that correlation is right.
Yeah.
It's that simple. You have outliers?
Yeah.
Take the outliers and let me ask them some questions.
Can I talk to you guys?
Yeah.
Can I get some data from you guys?
Yeah, it's a simple model.
Can you just take the back of my head and can you just smash it right in here into this recording board, please? I love horses, but man, I'm getting tired of beating a dead horse.
Yes. And so here we go.
And I don't want to watch me clubbing some dead animal on the side of the road either. Can we not do that?
Yes.
Can we not get into that zone? Can we just see the obvious here?
Tuning analytical models. There is a wide range of data science and machine learning tools available out there. These tools can help data analysts to try distinct algorithm and approaches and select the best ones for analytical applications. Look at this. As statistical models and algorithms are applied to the data set to try, and I love this,
try
and generalize the behavior of the target variable. Generalize.
First of all, I got to try. I'm not going to do it. I'm not really going to execute on it. I'm going to do my best to generalize. Do you know how upset people get when you generalize them? When someone uses a blanket comment, they speak to the whole group. If you watch The Bachelor on ABC, one person says something and then all the people ignite because it's generalized to the group. Why are you doing that with your data sets?
Yes, same thing.
That's insane. There's no reason you can't have perfect, specific, granular information on every single individual.
Yeah, and they're so worried about behavior.
Stop generalizing.
Yes, and behavior patterns are so unique to each individual.
Everybody is so distinctly different. And when you say generalize, you're almost creating this belief system with your data.
Mm-hmm.
You believe through your generalization that everything works like this when it doesn't. So that means you don't have all the facts.
Mm-mm.
That's what belief is. Belief says, I need to rely on someone else telling me what the truth is. So you're going to use a model that's generalizing something to tell you that information back? Who wrote the algorithm for that damn model?
Well, let's get into that. Running the data analysis and monitor and govern the models. Last point, guys. Then we'll leave you alone. Once the best algorithm is found and models are deployed, now the time to run the data analysis against all the data. Data scientists must apply their statistical, mathematical, and technological knowledge and utilize data science tools at their disposal to crunch the data and derive insights.
Yeah. It's rare now that people are actually doing the math.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of engineers that, work for very specific, government, contracts, or, they design submarines or missiles, whatever it might be. And they're not really crunching numbers anymore. There's no slide rule, get out the calculator. They design everything on a CAD system. It does it all for them. So all these new tools that are coming out are taking care of that work. Mm-hmm. They make it sound like it's some laborious process. But again, like our natural language processing algorithms, you have a whole catalog of things you can choose from. You don't need to crunch the numbers. Wolfram Alpha will do it for you. You ever use that?
Yes.
It's all there. So, don't make it sound terribly complicated. It's just, from your fundamental training as a data scientist, it's important to have some level of mathematical understanding so you can understand how the model works, but you're not crunching the numbers anymore.
No.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So what it takes to make the data science process work, TARTLE.co.
I'll tell you what makes it work. Yeah.
That's what makes it work.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get rid of those stupid 5 steps. Just one step.
TARTLE.co.
Thank you for listening to TartleCast with your hosts Alexander McKegg and Jason Rigby, where humanity steps into the future and source data defines the path. What's your data worth?